he is my friend. Say if I just stay out the grave, he'll see that I don't go to the pen. Mr. Clark is a lawyer, he could lie stream. He's the first man to prove that water run upstream. You know I like Mr. Clark. Yes, you know he is my friend. Say if I just stay out the grave, he'll see that I don't go to the pen.
What's going on, fishing friends? We are on our last leg of the night, going all the way down to Florida, East Coast Central. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Captain Jamie right now, a Dundalk native. So if you're in the DMV area, you know that area very well. How you doing, Captain Jamie? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Let me see if I can fix you. I think drop out and come back in. He'll be set up after he does that. Almost always fixes it. Can you hear me? Dang. Let's see. Can you hear me now? No. I think you got to like close the app altogether and come back in. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, Lady C's chiming in and said you got to go all the way out. I don't know what OBJ was. Probably some kind of object, some emoji, but maybe it was a secret to fixing this because it seems to happen enough. It seems to happen enough where it's kind of a pain. But we're going to get started in just a second. Prize of the night for question of the night is a pack of old school 3 3/4 inch hammers in Screaming Demon. I love the name of that color. It's kind of a greenish black. And we're going to throw in an old school logo sticker for you guys. Let's see if Captain Jamie's got his issues worked out. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How about you?
I can hear you too, man. I don't know what it is. Lady C seems to have dealt with it before too, because she was saying he needs to go all the way out. So I mean, I don't know what the tech issue is, but that seems to be the issue. And also, Lady C's chiming in for this prize pack, saying it's great for bass, and I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree. It looks like it would be a very good largemouth bass lure. Maybe she's Lady C. If you caught something recently on largemouth bass on those, chime in and let me know. But how you doing, Captain?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Getting hot down here.
Yeah, you know what? It's like up in your home state. It's like California right now.
Yeah,
it's like mid-70s, beautiful. I mean, nice, clear skies, and our water is. You know how the Chesapeake Bay gets murky. You wouldn't believe it. You get that picture over your head of Tillman Island. You go to Tillman Island right now, you can see the bottom in 10 feet of water.
Is that good or bad for striped bass fishing?
It's good because you can see them, and like it's unusual for us to get to sight fish striped bass, but it's bad. We were just doing a report with Captain Tom Weaver earlier tonight, and you usually can get like 1 or 2 casts on them, catch 1 or 2 fish, and then they spook, which is weird for striped bass. Usually they don't spook.
I've been seeing some of them guys up there getting a few trolling. I know I've seen my brother's been posting some pictures, so it seems like they're eating a little bit at least.
Yeah, they are. They are. How are things going down there?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Like I said, it's getting hot. We're pretty much getting in our summer pattern now. Apologize if I sound stuffy. I got a sinus infection, man. It's kicking my butt. But anyway, things are good. We're doing a little bit of everything right now. Backcountry, inshore, inlet trips, and even been able to get offshore a little bit in between these. Hopefully the last few fronts. We got one coming through this weekend. I'm hoping after that it'll be wide open for offshore.
So let's do the 2-minute bite real quick. The fish that's most popular or biting most right now, what you're using and what's the technique?
So really on the days we can get out, man, offshore is where it's at. The mahi are migrating north. Typically just trolling either naked ballyhoo with skirts, looking for weed lines, temperature breaks. Most of the fish have been like right at the Gulf Stream, which is around 40. It varies, but it's like 42 miles or so for us right now. So a little bit of a hike, and you can push out a little bit farther, find some current lines where the grass is kind of bunched up and troll up and down them. It's kind of crazy, 40, 50, 60 miles out there and think you're going to be all alone. And you're trolling down one side of a weed line and you got a boat trolling 50 yards away from you down the other side. You can pretty much talk to them. It's everybody knows this that time of the year, and we've had a few and far days in between that we've been able to go. But mahi for sure is the good bite. And them guys that are going a little bit farther out, going to the other side of the Gulf Stream, have been doing real well with yellowfin tuna this year, which, we always have them, but this year seems to be a little bit better than years prior. And almost every day, guys are bringing in a bunch of tuna, so that's good to see. I haven't had a chance to get out there for them yet. Hoping maybe next week.
Good stuff. I see your T-shirts you have on there. I know that you just started or sort of acquired a branch of Coastal Angler magazine. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Coastal Angler magazine is the largest fishing publication in North America, actually. It's probably about 280,000 print copies a month that we put out. And then we have 3.2 million subscribers to our e-magazine. But I bought the local franchise here in Daytona Beach area. It's, they regionalize them a little bit different everywhere. But I bought the county where I live in. Another gentleman's got just north of me all the way to Jacksonville. Somebody's got south of me. But it's pretty cool, man. I've added a lot of really good editorial writers. I got freshwater writers. I got, inshore backcountry. I've been a writer in there for about a decade now. We got offshore guys writing, conservationists writing, people who travel write for us.
Wait, you're from Dundalk and you know how to write?
Yeah, believe it or not. As soon as I graduated from Dundalk, I moved
Not
to Florida
fired.
college. But yeah, no, it's a cool magazine. It's just a good platform for me, number one, to be able to advertise my businesses on a local level, but it also gives me like a positive voice in the fishing community. So,
Sure.
I do a lot with the local fishing clubs. We got a couple of them in the area. They put on kids tournaments, special needs tournaments, veteran tournaments. So help them out with promoting that.
Yeah, well, I put down Captain Jamie's cell phone number and his website to book a trip. I've done this show. He's one of the few captains that we have that I haven't gotten to fish with.
Come on down.
What's that? I know it. It's going to happen soon. I'm going to try to do it this year. But tell us a little bit about Yellow Dog fishing. I know you guys have expanded. You guys have added boats to your fleet. Maybe talk about that a little bit. The various opportunities that someone can experience with you guys.
Yeah, man. We got all angles of the water covered. We got the backcountry, mangrove fishing, light tackle, even fly fishing back there, tarpon, snook, redfish, mostly sight fishing. Then we do like nearshore inlet trips. We're fishing Ponce Inlet area, fishing for the bigger bull redfish, for tarpon, big snook there as well. A lot of oversized snook, jacks. We get permit. We got just about anything you think of: flounder, mangrove snapper, and then we'll run the beach a lot in the summertime too, chasing the tarpon behind the shrimp boats with our bay boat. So we got a flats boat, a bay boat, and an offshore boat, right? So the bay boat we'll do the inlet run, run the beach looking for tarpon behind the shrimp boats, and then we have a 30-foot center console that we can get you out bottom fishing or trolling. Bottom fishing's been real hot too. One of the last trips we went out, we trolled for a while. It was pretty crowded where all the weed lines were. So we took a 20-minute ride and let everybody kind of spread out and bottom fish and, whacked a bunch of nice trigger fish, a bunch of, we call them beelines. They're vermilion snappers. They look like little red snapper. A lot of red snapper. Unfortunately, we can't keep them right now in the Atlantic. but amberjack, you name it. The grouper, man, seems like the tax man, we call them the sharks. Every time we get a grouper on, dude, we cannot get them to the boat. We have
Well, if you catch a grouper big enough, the shark won't be able to fit it in its mouth.
That's the goal, right? That's the goal.
For sure.
But yeah, no, man. As a business, we offer a little bit of everything. We backcountry, inshore, and offshore.
So this is something I haven't asked you before, but tell us a little bit about, because I mean, if you got three boats running, you can't run all three at the same time. Tell us about the captains that you work with,
Sure. Yep.
other than you, that people might get to meet.
Yep. So I got a couple buddies who have their own charter businesses, but I let them run my boats also when they're not running their boats. One of them's a firefighter, another one's got a full-time job as well, and then another one, he's a retired NASCAR engineer. So between those three captains and myself, we try to keep the boats running every day that we can, and a lot of times we'll do 2 trips in a day. I'll run one in the morning, other captain will run one in the afternoon, or sometimes we'll run two in a row. But yeah, no, all a bunch of good guys. All of them got probably 2 decades worth of fishing experience down here. So, and we work together as a team, not just my guys and under my umbrella, but all the other charter captains in the area. We all communicate well with each other, kind of let them know what's working, what's not, where the fish are, when the best bite is, and our ultimate goal is to put all of our customers on fish. So like I said, we all work together as a pretty close knit team.
Good stuff. Just to let you guys know, as a reminder, we're gonna probably stay on for another 5 or 6 minutes. So get your questions in to win this little old school tackle company prize pack. My question for you is, my kind of internal clock is starting to tick, and I think we're pretty close to the time where you guys would get behind the shrimp boats and catch tarpon, right? We're not too far off of that, are we?
Yeah, no, that's usually around sometime in June. And you would think I would know this, but there's a certain time of the year in the summer when the boats can come within a mile of the beach. You'll see they're here shrimping year round, but they're out a little bit farther. But it seems like when they come within that mile range of the beach, especially for tarpon, that's when we seem to do the best. The tarpon are already here, actually. I haven't really seen any real big ones yet, but that 30 to 60, 70 pound class is definitely here. We got a couple the other day hooked up, but yeah, them big tarpon in the summer when they get behind those shrimp boats, man, it's something else. When you hook into 150, 180 pound fish, it'll get all your oil flowing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Stephen Price asked, how long does offshore stay active for with the constant temp change?
Yeah, it's really offshore bottom fishing. We could fish all day long and catch fish. The mahi bite is typically like even first light, but it usually seems to be like more of a mid morning bite. Slack off a little bit at the height of noon or when the sun's straight up and down, and then you'll get another good bite going into the afternoon before we head in. Wahoo is usually typically a super early morning bite, like first light, like that first hour, right after the sun comes up is your best bet for wahoo. But yeah, and while we're doing all that, you never know if you're going to hook into a sailfish, and once in a while we'll get a marlin on as well, blue or even a white.
Dude, you carved out a pretty cool life for yourself, my friend. It's pretty awesome. I know it's probably like when you're in it, you probably don't see it, but there's got to be times where you step back and you're like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's usually on the ride in. Everybody's pretty satisfied. We're cruising in. Everybody's getting ready to eat some fish. We leave from a local restaurant. One of the things we try to do is separate ourselves from everybody else. Is we promote hook and cook, and everybody's ready to eat some fish, and it's just a good feeling. Sometimes I feel like the people enjoy feeding the dang pelicans and the egrets and all the catfish eating our scraps at the fillet table more than they do fishing.
Yeah, that's got to be good stuff, man. Coming off your boat, eating your fish, cold beer or cold beverage, whatever you happen to drink. Yeah, I'm looking forward to experiencing it myself.
Yeah.
Lady C wanted to point out that, to check out the amazing tackle that Old School Tackle Company has to offer. Brian Dolph is the owner of that company and hand makes all of his baits, right here in Maryland. So check them out. Makes great stuff, and man, he's like the amount of variety he's able to produce for a one-man show. Although his son apparently is helping him a lot now. His young kid is awesome. Steven has another question. He's asking. I love this story. Why do you follow the shrimp boat for tarpon? Would you still be able to troll?
No, when we're following the shrimp boats for tarpon, we're not trolling. It's more like sight fishing for them. A lot of times, behind these shrimp boats, it'll be like an amazement of life, like almost like you can walk on the water. Most of it is going to be bonitas and sharks, and those tarpon will be in schools. And when the shrimpers pull up their nets to catch the bycatch, the tarpon kind of hang back a little bit deeper. And as soon as they start throwing out their bycatch, because they don't stop when they pull their nets up, they're moving the entire time. So they'll pull their nets up, keep dredging, or keep chugging along. They'll call all the shrimp and they'll start pushing off like the croakers and the spot, whatever other type of bycatch they get. And then it turns into a feeding frenzy. The sharks get most of it, but a lot of it drops back and sinks. And that's what we actually scoop up a lot of that bycatch and use like a weighted hook, almost like a knocker rig or something, and throw it out there. As long as you can get it past the sharks, you got a pretty good chance of getting hooked up with a tarpon. Then we can pull them away from the boat, get them away from the sharks. Most of these sharks are like black tip sharks and bull sharks. They're 4 or 5 feet long. They're not really going to go after the bigger tarpon that we're fighting. We do occasionally have some run-ins with some big hammerheads, but yeah, no, we don't troll when we're behind the shrimp boats. It's more like sight fishing. It's kind of crazy too, because you'll be out there and them guys are pulling their nets. I'll get right up the back of my boat will almost be touching the back of their boat, or the front of my boat will almost be touching the transom of their boat while they're running. And they'll come out and they'll talk to you while they're happy to see somebody else other than the three stinky guys on the boat. But yeah, they'll tell you if they've been seeing tarpon or not. And if you're behind a boat, you don't see no tarpon, you just there'll be another boat within an eye shot. You just pull up and run over to the next boat. And
they give you a bucket full of fresh shrimp too, right?
Yeah, we'll bring
Really?
beer with us that time of the year, like a 12-pack of beer or a case of beer. Trade them beer, and they'll give you a bucket full of shrimp. Man, you can't beat it. It's
Man, you can't beat it, dude.
no,
That's too cool.
no.
Yeah. Ladies, he's one step ahead of me tonight. Captain Jamie also has a tackle shop, Yellow Dog Bait and Tackle. Let's talk about that. You guys have now been open for over a year now, right?
Actually, the end of this month will make 1 year. We opened up the last Friday of May last year, so we're going on our 1 year anniversary. Yeah, no, things are good, bud. Like we get busier every weekend. It's been a bait and tackle shop for a long time, but they closed down due to some repairs from hurricane damages from years ago. So I bought it. It's right at a boat ramp, at a public boat ramp. They redid the boat ramp, so it's back open. We sell a lot of live bait, a lot of frozen bait, just about anything you need. We don't. The inlet is a little bit of a hike from my bait shop, so I don't really cater to like the offshore fishermen. We're a small shop, maybe 500 square feet, but I got everything you need for surf fishing, backcountry fishing, live bait, artificial, and then we also rent kayaks, paddle boards there for just pleasure. But then I got kayak guides that work for me that we take, kayak charters out in the backcountry. We do sightseeing trips with kayaks out of it, so it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty
Man,
cool.
you've got that area covered. Like if you want to fish in Florida East Coast, that Daytona area, and we'll get you to kind of define that area a little bit. But I mean, if you want to kayak fish, if you want to inshore fish, if you want to offshore fish, if you want to chase a shrimp boat and catch tarpon and sharks, you've got it all covered. But
Yeah,
like, because that Florida East Coast is a pretty large region, and Daytona Beach is even a pretty large region. What would you consider like, the yellow dog domination area? What?
Just the greater Daytona area, man. From south to north, we pretty much, we got access to all of it between the bait shop and the marina where our bigger boats are at. So really, whatever that day presents itself, we can get you out there and get you on fish. I mean, out of say I fish 340 days a year. maybe 5 to 8 of those days we can't go because of bad weather. It's wind is usually more than anything what makes us cancel a trip. So, we can dodge storms, we can go north, we can go south, but yeah, that greater Daytona Beach area, we're about 45 minutes to an hour east of Orlando. So, a lot of people come to us that are, at the theme parks. They got a day they want to get away, go do something different. Or, just, summertime vacationers, spring breakers, snowbirds, anybody that comes to the area that wants to get out there, we got something to offer you.
It's a great time of year to do it, guys. It's not too hot yet. I can always tell when it's gotten too hot because Captain Jamie's cheeks are just like scarlet red, and now they're just a little pink, so it's not getting too bad yet. But so you got time to get in there and catch some amazing fish before it gets too hot. Well, for question of the night, unless someone comes in and asks another one in the next few seconds, it's between Stephen Price and Stephen Price. So, Stephen Price, you win. Stephen asked 2 questions. So you're going to get the old school package. Stephen, if you could send us an email to admin@thefishingchannel.net, we will send out your prize later on this week. You should receive it early next week. Anything people should look forward to in the next month with fishing your area and particularly fishing with you, Captain?
Nothing, man. Other than it's heating up, everything's eating. A lot of bait in the area. We kind of already had our spring mullet run. A lot of the mullet that broke off that are going to stay in the area are here. We'll have a summer shrimp run where the river shrimp will migrate south and head out the inlet. So it just gets better from here all the way through the fall.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for spending the time, for bearing with me last week when I was sick. So I appreciate it. Everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Jamie, thanks so much. Take care, buddy.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Got off in town, resident on 70 Road. Got a nice wife and kids, y'all right inside the grove. You know I like Mr. Clark. Yeah, I should know he is my friend. Say if I